Atlanta leaders applauding the response to a hijacked bus in the metro. How the miles-long chase through 3 counties finally came to an end.
And the man Atlanta police say hijacked that bus you just heard about yesterday afternoon was also here at the scene of a shooting that was unrelated right inside the food court. I ended up speaking with him as I was looking for witnesses, what he said right before he boarded the bus.
New information about the accused shooter and what police said went on inside this food court in downtown Atlanta.
And another day, another red alert to kickstart your afternoon ride. This one impacting 4 major interstates.
11 Alive News at 4 p.m. starts now.
And first tonight, we are learning more about the moments leading up to 2 unrelated acts of violence, the shooting of 3 people at a downtown food court and the deadly hijacking of a Gwinnett County transit bus. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Angelina Salcido in for Faith Jesse. Hours ago, we confirmed one of the people we randomly interviewed moments after the downtown shooting Tuesday is the suspect in the deadly bus hijacking. Now tonight, we have team coverage to begin with the latest on the hijacking. 11 Alive's Grace King details how those events unfolded.
This section of Hugh Howell Road in Stone Mountain is where the miles-long chase through Fulton, DeKalb, and Gwinnett counties finally came to an end. I spoke with Atlanta leaders this morning about how it all unfolded.
There's not always a game plan for what life gives us.
Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum speaking to the difficulty of a hijacked bus.
Sometimes these men and women have to make it up right then, on the fly, to save lives.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says Joseph Greer boarded a Gwinnett County transit bus in downtown Atlanta and started arguing with an armed passenger.
The hijacker disarmed a citizen and then used that weapon to injure a passenger and then used that weapon to force the driver to do what we saw him do.
The chaotic ride lasted for miles, defying stop sticks and striking cars as it drove through traffic on the wrong side of the street.
You have an individual saying, if you stop this bus, I'm going to kill the driver, which then means that the whole bus could overturn, could run over a ditch or run over a bridge, and everyone could die.
Even with flattened tires, the bus continued on. The GBI says it took a Georgia State Patrol trooper firing his rifle into the engine compartment of the bus for it to malfunction and finally stop running.
This is a bus. Buses are designed to go far. This bus could end up in another state. To not have it be 17 individuals or 16 individuals, thank God for that, and thank proper training and coordination of all the, the law enforcement agents across the region.
And this afternoon, authorities identified the passenger shot and killed by Greer as 58-year-old Ernest Bird Jr. In Stone Mountain, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
And a short time before Joseph Greer got on that bus, by coincidence, 11 Alive interviewed him because he happened to be a witness to the shooting at the Peachtree Center Mall downtown. 11 Alive's Molly Yoke actually talked to him. And Molly, if you can, walk us through how you met him and what exactly he told you.
Hey, Jonathan, I was here on scene within an hour of that shooting happening, and between live shots, I was just looking for witnesses to talk to try to get some kind of information as we were waiting for updates from police. That's when I came right here, where I'm standing, and met a man named Joseph Greer. He told me he was inside when it happened. He thought he saw the shooter, so I asked if I could interview him. This is our interview you're seeing on the screen now. To be clear, police say that shooting I was interviewing him about happened at Peachtree Center Mall food court around 2:15 yesterday afternoon. Then we interviewed him around 3:45 for only about 4 minutes. At 4:20, the GBI says this man boarded a Gwinnett County transit bus and got into a fight with a passenger and took a gun from that passenger, which then led to a shooting and hijacking. Greer is accused of both hijacking the bus and shooting a passenger. That passenger later died. This is a clip from when I talked with him before he got on that bus.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm bipolar, let me tell y'all that. I'm on medication for like 2 weeks, but Grady gonna give it to me. So I'm leaving out the thing. So I see the shooter, you know what I'm saying? I guess the shooter, like, to me here, because I'm 6'5", 285. So this the first guy on the scene right here with the curly hair, with the waves. He the one that stopped me from beating.
Greer also told me when he saw that shooter, he grabbed the woman he was with and hid behind a corner. Greer also told me that he was not allowed to have a gun because he had been convicted of multiple felonies. We're looking more into his criminal history coming up tonight at 5. Guys.
All right, unbelievable. Molly, thanks so much. Tonight, we are also learning more about what played out during that shooting inside the popular food court in downtown Atlanta. 3 people were shot in yesterday's shooting, as well as the accused shooter who was shot by an off-duty officer.
Atlanta's mayor and police chief speaking with us just hours ago about what they saw on surveillance video that they obtained and what they know about the shooter. 11 Alive's Brittany Kleinpeter joins us now from the location where those victims were injured. And Brittany, what can you tell us about how they're doing tonight?
Good afternoon to you both. So just hours ago, Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum did share with us that the 3 victims are doing okay and expected to make a full recovery, thankfully. He did also paint more of a picture of what actually unfolded inside this food court yesterday afternoon. He said after reviewing surveillance video, they combed through it and it appeared the suspected shooter, Jeremy Malone, had just a brief brush up with another person, which led to some kind of altercation, and that's when he pulled out a gun, shooting that person. The other 2 victims that were shot were apparently a pair of elderly sisters.
And we saw different responses. Quickly shuttering businesses, sheltering patrons in their establishments, quickly moving to places of shelter, getting out of the area. We also saw some people froze, didn't move, and could have easily have been victim number 4.
And less than 24 hours later, police were back out here right across the street from where we're standing. They were at the federal building for an alleged bomb threat, and people obviously still trying to process yesterday's events. Fortunately, nothing was discovered, but we'll bring you more from that coming up in about an hour. Reporting from downtown Atlanta, Brittany Kleinpeter, 11 Alive News.
Looking for that update, Brittany. Thank you. Trust 11 Alive to bring you updates on air and in our 11 Alive app to both of these stories. It is free to download in your app store.
All right, time now for a check of weather and traffic, and hopefully a calmer day today traffic-wise. Crash, you were covering that bus chase minute by minute.
Yeah, that was just heart-pounding. I mean, even when we were wrapping things up and trying to get all the details for that, my heart was still going 100 miles an hour. But great job by the entire 11 Alive News team to get all that information out. Unfortunately, we are starting with a red alert.
Oh, okay. We'll get to you in a minute. But the heat is also sort of a red alert for us.
It really is, and it's going to become more dangerous. Okay, so right now it's hot outside, but as we get into Friday and the weekend, this is our first serious heat wave of the season so far. Let me show you a big picture of the setup. It's this big heat dome, heat ridge, which has been over the southwest, and that's going to expand in our direction by this weekend. So that's going to send temperatures up above average, in some cases by about 10 degrees, which this time of year, that's when you know we're pushing close to record territory. Outside right now, we've got kind of that hazy filtered sunshine, partly sunny in Atlanta, 87 degrees. Humidity's up a little from yesterday, still not bad, but that also will be climbing up a bit as we get into the end of the week, making it feel a couple degrees hotter than the actual temperatures are outside. 86 Duluth, 90 in Peachtree City, 88 in Covington right now, 83 in Canton. So this evening, clouds stick with us. We are warm outside. We're going to be staying mild through the overnight, but as we get into tomorrow, that's when I expect a lot more of us popping around 90 degrees. And then by Friday and the weekend, it's those real extreme days. So this evening, falling back through the 80s. Tomorrow, in addition to it being again hot outside, we've got another code orange air quality alert. And this means that the ozone, the particulate matter, builds up in the afternoons, unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you have respiratory illnesses, emphysema, asthma, those who want to really limit how much time that you're spending outdoors. The heat becomes dangerous for everybody Friday and this weekend. Crash will break that down for you coming up in just a bit.
All right, here we go. Unfortunately, another day, another red alert. Now, the camera was kind of pointing right at what I wanted to show you, but unfortunately, a member of GDOT decided to move that, and that's not good. You got to look to the right of your screen there. You can see all lanes are now being held on I-20. This is heading outbound, leaving downtown, I-20 westbound at Windsor Street. As they're holding all lanes to get this tractor trailer out of the roadway here, it is having a major impact. The connector southbound on the East Expressway and on the connector heading northbound. Folks, the best way we can get you around this thing is MLK Jr. Drive, but unfortunately, that is going to be slammed, and you can see right there the connector in both directions, condition red with a major red alert. I-20, there it is, shut down westbound at Windsor Street. Back over to you guys.
Crash, thank you. We are also following breaking news in Douglas County, where crews are working to put out a fire. 11 Alive Sky Tracker over the apartment complex on Chicago Avenue. Now you can see plumes of smoke billowing into the air there. Fire officials are asking people to expect delays in the area and, of course, avoid it if you can. The cause of the fire still under investigation. We're working to learn some more details. We'll, of course, bring them to you as soon as we get them.
Also right now, the all clear has been given after more tense moments in downtown Atlanta. This because of a bomb threat. Law enforcement responding to an address on Peachtree Street Northwest. Several businesses are located in the area, including the Urban League of Greater Atlanta and local offices for the U.S. State Department. Authorities did have to evacuate the building so they could conduct the sweep, which included explosives, the explosives unit and canine officers. No threats or hazards were found, and the building was reopened to the public.
All new at 4, the wreckage of a private plane carrying 5 men from Georgia and disappeared in Vermont in 1971 may have been found. This is the image on your screen showing what's thought to be the wreckage of the long-lost jet at the bottom of the Vermont's Lake Champlain. Now, the flight from Burlington to Providence, Rhode Island took off during a snowstorm in 1971. All 5 people on board died after it crashed after taking off. Now, search efforts for the private jet had continued throughout the years. The undersea search specialist who made the discovery says it could be easy to overlook the wreckage.
A jet, it looks like a pile of rocks, literally. So to most people looking at sonar data, they can overlook it because they'll go, oh, that looks like geology.
Now, the relatives of the victims plan to hold a memorial now that they know where the plane is located.
Well, coming up, Oprah Winfrey on the mend tonight after a recent trip to the emergency room.
And all lanes remain blocked on I-20 westbound, leaving downtown at Windsor Street, and it is having a major impact on that downtown drive. 11 Live News at 4, coming right back.